Permission record. Yeah,
Please,
thank you.
please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome all. Welcome once again. My name is Praveen Rajpal, as I said. So I'm straight away starting with the presentation for you. We are basically on a mission to digitally transform the universities, and we provide EdTech solutions. Uh, so that the universities can very easily comply with three main policies that the government has come out with. One is the NISP, the new innovation and startup policy, which talks about democratization of innovation and startups. Number two is the new education policy, talks about multidisciplinary learning, world-class education. And of course, ARIA, which will be ranking all the universities on their achievements on the innovation. Before I start, my compliments to Shoolini University. I was just going through the website and I was really thrilled to see that, such a wonderful university of world class we have it here. So our endeavor would be how do we, enable you to really ensure that, you want to become one of the top 100, 200 universities in the world. How do we enable you to have that by 2022, which is one of your vision statements also. Basically, we are the market leaders in the EdTech when it comes to innovation, startups, entrepreneurship building, mindsets, the industry, academia, innovation assessment tools, so on and so forth. And I'll try to see if I can give you a glimpse of these tools over here. Just before that, could you see the video that we had sent to you earlier? Anybody over here, could they see the video which was probably sent earlier?
Kamaji, I sent you that YouTube video.
But I think I did not get the time.
Okay, no problem. So
Okay.
we will, so that, no problem. So I'll have to again, take you through that. One of the biggest, I would say, works that we have done in this field is to create the World Innovation Network platform. It's on the cloud, actually, and which connects the innovation seekers with the innovation providers, because I think that is one of the biggest needs that we have today. If you see innovation seekers on the left-hand side, we have the government, we have companies, we have R&D centers, VCs. The right-hand side, the main providers of innovation is going to be only universities. They are the number one, because they have startups, they have the professional students, technology providers. Through them, I think the needs of the companies and the corporates is really going to be met. So, but the problem was the left hand did not know what the right was doing. And I mean, the organizations today, they definitely need fresh ideas, the passion, the energy of the students, and the students, of course, need the management experience and the financial muscle that the corporates have. So the idea is to connect, provide them a connected ecosystem. And the evolution that World Innovation Network has done is the transformation of a smartphone. I mean, you have seen how it has evolved from an e-commerce to the navigation tool to the wallet and a bank, a doctor. But our evolution is that every student, should actually have an incubator in the hand. You have seen how the physical structures of the banks have got evaporated, right? Universities eventually are going to be on the smartphone. I mean, the incubator has to be on the smartphone. It's not just that, but also the accelerator, because as we connect you with thousands of MNC companies all over the world, the biggest need for the innovation is actually a scale up. And this scale up does not happen unless the student knows how to connect with the organizations. I think that kind of a collaboration is very, very important. So that evolution we bring. And I was going through your 5-pillar model of Shoolini. I mean, the first focus is on the research and innovation. I think that is a very, very important pillar that you have selected, because without that, there is no business today. And the last 2 years specifically has been very, very tough on all the businesses. And without the research and innovation, nothing is possible. And of course, you also talk about the focus on the innovative pedagogy, right? The inspired faculty, motivated students. And even in the mission, I was seeing world-class education and the community impact that you want to create with the research and innovation. So also that you are the top 3 patent filer in India. I've also seen that, you have the Faculty of Agriculture, very, very diversified university, pharma, science, engineering and technology, the School of Advanced Chemicals. So I won't repeat NISP, NEP, and ARIA because you know about it. We have a lot of customers who are already using our products. I would like to straight away go and give you a glimpse of some of the tools that we provide to you. And the most important repository that we have created, is the repository of the mind map. We provide more than a set of 100 ready-to-use mind mapping templates, which are very important, and just a second, yeah, which are very, very important, and which makes every student every student, innovate during their tenure of whatever time they have in the university, whether he's an undergraduate or whether he's a postgraduate or whether he's doing his PhD. Everybody selects, one area, and, he's able to innovate. Let us say, we have this from our repository of startup development system. But how does one create a startup? And everything starts with basically the human-centered design. And the difference between the software and the products that we provide, the softwares would have an empty mind map. You have to create those mind maps. It takes a lot of time. In this case, the mind maps are ready. They're guided. So, if somebody has to say, let's create, it all starts with human-centered design and we're catering to the customers, you can simply expand it. And as you expand it, you can see that discovery of the needs has got further bifurcation of people, the challenges, needs, and opportunities. And if you further do it, further expand it, how do you see people when it comes to their age or gender, culture, etc., etc. If a person has any idea about a particular age of a person, he can say that, I want to cater to the adolescents or, people who are from this age to this age, needs, etc. The problems, that they're facing. And but how do they find out the problems? So the observing their lifestyle, their working style, their play style, the way they socialize. How Starbucks came in. So I think it is extremely important for people to understand not only their present needs, their future needs, their articulated needs, their unarticulated needs. And here is where I think a lot depends on creating the innovation. So you can select any of this template, write the ideas you have, and the discovery of needs actually tells you how do you discover those needs. And once you have discovered, you convert them into the challenges, or either it's a need or it's a challenge. So how do you gain customer insights? How do you find out, the questionnaires or the interviews, the pain points that they have, the foresight part of it. I think these mind maps, they help in, the students in systematically looking at the innovations. And we know what brainstorming is, but is there a tool that we can provide you for the brainstorming? So here is where, we have developed a very powerful tool, which is called the Innovation Rubik's. It's called the 3D Idea Generator, right? And it is a 5x5x5 cube. We have 12 such cubes for every kind of innovation. This is on design. And so let me pick up the marker to just show you how it works. Yeah. So you can see this idea generator on design innovation 360 degrees for multi-dimensional thinking, because the students today, they need some kind of new tools which will stimulate their imagination and creativity. And if I want to, I can pick up the mouse, I can shuffle it. And the moment I shuffle it, I see absolutely a new sort of a permutation and a combination in front of me. So if I'm designing a new product, or I'm working on that particular mind map, how can I basically, make the product which is much more simpler, or maybe, combine 2 and more technologies, create solutions, which are absolutely novel in design. I can pick up the mouse again, go horizontal. And again, I can see that, it is extremely important. Can we make it self-driven? So people the students who do not have any idea on design thinking, on creativity, this stimulates their imagination and enables them to create ideas which can be saved, transported to the mind map, simple copy and paste, and take it on a mind map and expand it further. The good thing about this is that you can shuffle it. It's programmed for a 20 times of random shuffling, because unless you have a chaos, you cannot have an order. And that is what is very important for creative thinking. So you shuffle it. And as you shuffle the cube, you find that it is programmed for a 20 times of auto shuffling, where the new juxtaposition of words and whatever combination seems to be very weird now actually becomes a product of tomorrow. Now, fuel efficiency and software, for example, the top two words over here, it might sound very, very weird right now, but is it possible to create a software that alarms a person that he's wasting the fuel at a particular time? So you can actually, circle these two things, the fuel efficiency and the software, and what kind of software would you like to make for making the efficient driving, the safe driving, and so on. So these ideas that you have are ultimately taken on these mind maps that you were seeing, and it enables you to create new solutions. You can develop new concepts, and then there are also references of the other mind maps which are given over here. For example, refer to the mind map on problem resolution. Then how do you create your prototypes? And many of the times the MVP and the minimum viable product or the proof of concept, everything happens because the students are able to work on these kind of mind maps. I take you to the second mind map, which is equally important, which is on the problem resolution. Let me close this and show you the powerful package that we have, because unless a student is able to resolve a challenge, and that too in a radical way, we're not saying that you typically you resolve the challenge in a conventional method. So the 9 types of thinking which is there, and you can expand all of these thinkings. So if it is analytical thinking in a very systematic way, what are the causes of the problem, why it is happening, where, when, who, how, are analytical questions. But the most important thing is your creativity. Now, in creativity, the level of thinking that we provide, so the divergent thinking, how many ways do you think you can resolve it? And then converge. Iterative thinking, which means that unless you iterate, you will never meet with serendipity and the chance experiments, which is very, very important when it comes to the innovation. So these kind of tools, unconventional methods of resolving a challenge, not only in products, even in business models. So Grameen Bank, created by Dr. Muhammad Yunus, it challenged the conventional banking system, and it said that why should we ask for a collateral, and it became one of the biggest success stories. And design thinking principles. So they keep on expanding, and is it possible to eliminate a certain part from here to reduce the cost? Can we substitute a different material? 4 years ago, when I was at Hindalco, they were saying that how many Coke cans can we make? And I had told them that your future lies in the automobile industry, which is trying to reduce the weight of the car. And today, I think about 75% of the parts of the car by all the multinational companies are being made by the aluminum, because they want to increase the fuel efficiency. So in fact, it has become a mission statement. So how do you resolve these challenges? Not just with one type of thinking. What about technology thinking? I mean, today you have so many sensors which can resolve the automobile problems. There are so many kinds of other possibilities through the augmented reality and
Seems like it's not very clear.
I hope I'm audible.
No, you're not audible. We lost your voice in between. So if you can go back about a minute of work. In a minute of your discussion, you have to go back.
Okay. So unconventional thinking, you have seen this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the design thinking principles, technology thinking principles, and we have the mind maps for all these, separately covered. So all these are areas, which will enable them to resolve their challenges. Globalizing, I mean, that's very, very important. And these links over here, it opens a new mind map altogether. How is it connected to the sustainable development goals? That's how, you get your funding. So all these problems, radical thinking. I hope I'm audible right now. Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
Yes,
are.
you are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the idea is that, in the words of Henry Ford, if I asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. How do we make our students, not just come with a ordinary solution? Because unless they have a breakthrough product, they cannot have the breakthrough solution. They cannot have a breakthrough innovation. So these mind maps, with a tremendous focus on design thinking, the design innovation that they saw in the last mind map, uh, expansion of the principles further, I can fold all this, and I can, expand all this and work on every particular idea which I see over here. So I have to adjust, let us say, within the limited space. And how do I adjust within the limited space and ensure the food security and vertical farms came in? These ideas are going to give a big boost to the already great, ecosystem of innovation which you have created in every student. I believe you have around 3,200 students, and democratization of this through conventional methods is going to be a big challenge, because we cannot afford to have so many professors. But the generation Z today wants to learn from these kind of systems. If they want to further understand about design, the links are given here. So they can actually go to the design innovation link on our World Innovation Network. And how do you create the breakthrough designs, for example? So they can click over here, go on the links which have been given here. uh, any product that you want to see, you can always come here, see the product. IoT, for example, would have so many designs which will be there in front of them, and how they can improve upon this, how they can iterate on this, so on and so forth. So these mind maps are going to be very important. They're all connected with the global innovation ecosystem, to the extent, I really don't, I have a great idea, but I don't know how to create a concept of, I mean, how to convert it into a product. So the maps which link, them with the nearest people who are there with them, who can actually help them to create, the designers who can, you can go to these designers, because I'm in Gurgaon, so it says that this is in Haryana. I can go to the website, I can see what this designer is doing, and how I can actually, seek help from these people who can help me in creating a product that I have. So I think it is a very, very important, information that they have here, which enables them to design the products. And not just that, I mean, if you see the focus on design thinking, it still continues. So you have the 40 principles of design in your, on your screen, with all the examples, which is TRIZ. And if you want to further understand TRIZ, you can go and see as to how each and every principle has been explained by simply connecting it to the World Innovation Network. And it says that, there are more principles on segmentation that you can see. There are more principles on taking out that you can see, so on and so forth. So I think the idea of this kind of mind maps is, I mean, cheap living, short living objects, diapers, the way Procter and Gamble created a billion-dollar industry, or Gillette razors. So the art of creating the products, the intermediary mediator which came on with Zomato and Swiggy, every particular branch over here is basically an ideation. The principle of local quality, and you have seen Victorinox. They created the knife which has a laser pointer, and it has got the pen drive for the executive. Taking out or extraction, there was a problem of putting the trucks in the ship. So Mark Levinson, if you read the book called The Box, he removed the wheels from there. and the container was born. And that small, humble shipping container redefined the shipping industry. So I think these principles are going to stimulate the principle of segmentation and IKEA. So your engineers, your MBA students, you're at any kind of a level, I think they would be able to create some amazing products as a result of these mind maps that we have. The mind maps that we have in our technology section, everything is going to become smarter. Everything, whether it is smart logistics or retail or products or smart healthcare. Now, if the entire thing of the smart within mind maps, there are mind maps. So I can actually click this, the smart automobiles. Because when we were helping Tata Motors, their main concerns we know. I mean, it has to be a smart driving assistance. What is an idea that you have here? So immobilize the engine for the drunken drivers. So examples are given. Second example, the student can give it here. The emergency automated management systems, drones for charging the electrical cars, the driver safety systems, the risk alarm before you overtake the car. I think these are very important, but then it is equally important to know that many a times you have to partner with the technology providers. I mean, I was seeing your website and the way you made connection all over the world. The story of Samsung and Nokia. Samsung was nothing compared to Nokia when it comes to innovation capabilities, but they knew that in Silicon Valley, Google is coming up with Android. And I think this partnership is very, very important. So who are the major smart automotive solution providers today with whom Shoolini can actually tie up in case the idea is there to actually create a big market for the product? So this is the main research that we have done. So it's not just the mind maps. I think it is very important to find out. And if you want to know what are the new technologies which are coming in, you can go straight away over here and see the imagination. I mean, if you have to stimulate the imagination, the autonomous drone design, which Airbus is coming out with in the cars today, it's absolutely mind-blowing. So when it comes to design thinking, the flying drone cars, you can simply go on the video and see as to how the designs are being created today. So it is going to open up a world-class perspective to the students and not just the local perspective, which is very important on today's day because the world has become a village. And the whole part that we have over here is not just about the smart automobiles. You can expand. I can go back. It's about smart retail, about the smart products. If I want to expand this, the smart products are basically about trying to create user experiences. But these links over here, what are the smart products that we can get inspired from? Or these are still half-baked notions, I would say. How can we improve upon these smart products? So the curated technology platform that we have provided for them to see how these smart products are changing the whole world in a very, very different way. So this is a very important part of the thinking process that we have brought in over here. Now you can evaluate the future opportunities that people would be actually interested. You want to create a startup, but what are the trends? I can simply click on this and try to figure out as to what is going to be the future trends. I mean, 3D printed architecture, for example. I mean, the most affordable housing can come from there. The supply chain, which is getting disrupted because of the 3D printed cars, robotics, and the army. So they know that, these are basically, because in India, I have seen that the tech startups are not there. And how is it that our students can actually analyze the future, can know what the future growth sectors are? EdTech, for example, is going to be growing at a very fast pace. Health tech, for example. So these growth sectors, the future customer challenges are different than the challenges that we had earlier. So these students, when they see these mind maps, they move from a simple idea to then a business model innovation. The great companies falter on this. there was nothing wrong with Nano. So even the most brilliant cars, the car that Nano was, it flopped in the market because of the fact that the market segmentation and the focus was absolutely wrong. And by the time the company realized that after 7 years exchanging with cycles and bikes, every big company was making a smaller car. So guiding the students right from an ideation stage to go to market strategies. You need not create your own channel partners. I mean, there are already existing channel partners looking for the business. So how do you collaborate like Walmart partnered with Bharti Airtel? The existing dealer network, strategic marketing partners. Uh, we suggested Tatas to join hands with Indian Oil because their trucks were going out for servicing. So all these mind maps that you see here comes from a very rich consulting experience of the Fortune 500 companies. And the real-time experiences built not from any book. There is no such book available anywhere, not even at Stanford. So we provide them with a very, very important methodology of moving step by step, creating a startup, which can actually become breakthrough. The sources of funds. What are the sources of fund? But it's not just that. Everybody knows crowdsourcing, but our research is here. As you click here, the crowdsourcing platform of funding the ideas of the students are given here. And that is what makes this package so unique. And it's not just that, the angel investors and the VC firms in India and the global markets, if you want to see the global rank of the VC firms, or in India, you can go and click anywhere. So they actually, provide strategic funding to certain kind of projects. One-stop destination. I think the whole idea that we have over here is how do we create a one-stop destination for all kinds of innovation, technology innovation, for example. I'll give an example of AR, VR and the way it is expanding today in every field. You cannot move without the mixed reality or the extended reality or the virtual reality today. And that is why I think Facebook also changed the name to Metaverse, because they know that the future is going to be basically the Metaverse. You link with the automobile industry and you see the AR, VR in the automobiles. The sheer experience, we all talk about imagination, but how is it possible for us to create the AR, VR in the automotive industry? Now, these are some amazing examples, created by Maserati, let us say. And if I want to start the engine of this car, I can simply click the button on the engine and you can listen to the noise. And I can stop the engine. And then, I can see what further is happening when it comes to the 360 degrees, the design and the experience. So there also is a need for me to know in how many seconds this car does 100 kilometers. So I can simply place my cursor here. So in 2.9 seconds, I get a virtual experience of driving that this car can do actually, 100 kilometers an hour. So that is actually the power of the package that we have covered every technology. We've covered fintech, we have covered clean tech, we have covered digital tech, the AR, the artificial intelligence mind maps. I mean, everything is covered over here. I think that is the best part of it. And if you see our World Innovation Network platform, the students from the remote locations, they can go and download all these mind maps. So right from startups, it's all here. You can see how from human-centered design, we take them to VC and the funding part of it. Similarly, on the technology startups, I just gave you the example of the AR, VR, but the way your blockchain, your 3D printing is coming, your drone technology is coming. I can download this in front of you. I can simply go here and download the drone technology mind map. It takes me 2 seconds, wherever I am, the remotest of places in India, and I can open this either on my smartphone or on my laptop or my computer. And I have the drone technology mind map in front of me. But what will be the future? and how we are going to actually see this drone technology, what is it doing. Now, this is connected to the World Innovation Network, and there are hundreds of applications that a student can actually see here, stimulate his imagination, how drones are actually going to be used for the purpose of fire brigade in the future.
Engine red, 160 degrees, video and infrared images.
So when it comes to technology and technology applications, I think we have covered all the technologies connected with the World Innovation Network platform. Design business functions. If you go to business functions, see this manufacturing process innovations, and download this mind map. People, students who are mechanical engineers, they will be joining many good companies tomorrow. But how will they guide those companies in creating innovations? I think that is $1 million question. And today, organizations are not satisfied with conventional qualifications. So if I just see this mind map, in the methods part of it, I will just click here. There are so many kinds of possibilities of creating innovations for me. So I can, the speed losses, the way it can be reduced, mistake proofing, how it can happen. If a student has any idea, he can simply tap over here and write his ideas here. So that is the power that we provide. But a very important thing that we want to tell you here is the connectivity that we have created with the MNC organizations. And that is a very important part. And that helps students to scale up their innovations like anything. So the open innovation platforms of the MNC companies, corporate venture companies, which came up, mostly they came up in the last about 1 or 2 years. Now, any student having any idea on, let's say, health tech, can you imagine the queue has been reversed? So you have Johnson & Johnson, investing in startups now. They were never doing it earlier, but they have now started. Pfizer Ventures. So these companies, AstraZeneca, you have Merck Ventures. I can click and go inside. In a fraction of a second, I'm inside the organization. And you can see here the way these companies are actually helping the early stages of innovation, which is so encouraging for the students, because I think that is where they need the management experience. That is where I think they need all the knowledge which is required to commercialize their big ideas. GlaxoSmithKline, Sanofi Ventures. I mean, you can simply see the list of companies who are today willing to partner with the students. Cardinal Ventures, for example, partnering with student founders. So this is, I think, a revolution. Energy sector is the same thing. You go to Shell and they say that we work with startups and people, companies in the very early stages to scale up their growth phases. I mean, that's how I think each and every MNC company today is working. And the list and every sector, all these companies, they are actually helping the students to take their evolutionary ideas and convert them into the revolutionary business models. Not just that, then you come to the accelerators, the MNC accelerators. We did a research on Fortune 500 companies, so FMCG, automobiles, energy, consumer, every company today is having a program which allows a student or a startup to join hands with them. So what is P&G looking for? View the current needs. Open innovation in action. This is truly the future of innovation. People who have been, or organizations, institutions who have been working in silos will have to become more open in their approaches of collaborations. And if you want to know the oral, personal, family care innovations, you can simply click here to see the 16 needs that this company has only in that one category. So the market research is already done. It's very easy for a student. He need not do any kind of a market research because the industry has already done that. I mean, respiratory technology, you already know why they need it. So the idea that we have is not just one sector. You go to the next sector, which is automotive. I mean, some of the biggest organizations in the world, I mean, like Bosch. Now, their approach is that they want to create win-win partnership between Bosch and startups. Many of your students will have ideas, many of them, but now they have a platform because they say what is in it for the startups. They can sell their ideas, they can test their ideas, they can learn, they can speed up, network, scale, and so on. So this kind of a platform is a boom for every student, every aspiring entrepreneur. Honda Accelerator, for example, 1 second and I'm inside the company. I think ideas have no racial discrimination, and that is why these companies today globally actually are looking for the ideas where they can ask the student only to dream, because the rest of the things is they say we will provide. So they provide funding, they provide platforms to test the products, their mentors, the collaboration workplace. They tell you the areas in which the students have to do their work, so on and so forth. And so they say, what are you waiting for? Simply get in touch. So this research that we have provided will help boost, scale up, a lot of industry academia programs that you have, and create new needs. I mean, a lot of new innovations in association with the top companies. Aditya Birla is our client, and we are very happy to say that we actually transformed them into the Open Innovation Organization. And wherever we went, we talked about the Open Innovation Company, the programs, the various themes that they're coming out with, the opportunities which universities have today to partner with them, and the startups which have with them is really quite amazing. So I think that this is the platform that we have. I have taken about 40 minutes, and but I do hope that this kind of a platform would have given you some kind of a glimpse into the kind of tools and the EdTech solutions that we provide. It is very difficult to cover the entire thing in a 30-40 minutes, but the idea was to just give you the glimpse of it. I will be able to take any questions if you have, or any comments or any observations that you have.
All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Rajpal, for the great presentation. And of course, I can see a lot of value in this.
Thank you.
And so just so not of a question, but let us get into a little bit of a discussion. So
Sure.
how do we so you were saying that you have quite a few clients that you showed to us, like
Yeah.
LPU was there, IIT was there, I saw that, right?
Right.
And so how do we implement this? How do we go about implementing this into a
Yes, very good question. Basically, when it comes to the execution part of it, what we do is we provide you with the entire set of our World Innovation Network platform, which can be accessed from the computer or a smartphone, or in a computer lab, anywhere, anybody having any device, right? I mean, they can easily access it. After that, we provide the train the trainer program. We have a faculty training program where we provide the training to the faculty, and we tell them as to how to go about it. There are process manuals also which are there, step by step, which mind map to see at what point of time, although sequentially they have been given, but even the entire process is there. Then we also have one session with the students where we guide the students on how to go about utilizing this very important tool for the purpose of creating new patents. Because I believe that any student, see, innovation is no more confined to only a selected lot of people now. One of the biggest challenges we have in India, is the patent per million ratio. It is the worst in the world. It is just 37. And Korea has around 3,400. And that is basically because of the fact that the industry and the academia, they work together. So I think the platform will enable you to really boost your industry academia, hackathons, innovations funding, a lot of things. So very, very simple. LPU created about 30 patents in a span of 3 months only with our design innovation tools. That is the power of the package that we have. Only by using design. I mean, they did not touch any other topic. They simply went on design and they created about 30 patents. So that is the power of the package that we provide to you. So we can.
Perfect, Mr. Rajpal. So I just want to understand whether what is the subscription model like? So is it per student or is it
No, actually per
like for
student,
the entire university or something? What is it?
Per student will work out a very expensive model. Normally, when we talk per student, it is very expensive. But when we give it to the university, when it is a B2B model, we provide it to the entire university so that, all your schools, because innovation cannot be confined to only engineering students. All your schools will have to use it. So we provide the package to the universities at a one-time license fees. Now, let us say your university is having around 3,000 students and all the students have to use it, not only now, but also in the future. So I think we can customize the package, in a price band of around 7.5 to 10 lakhs of rupees, a one-time license fees. However, you can charge the student every year a certain amount of money, for providing these charges, because our per student price that we charge is about 10,000. Now it is.
I mean, we lost you in between, so if you have to.
So we got to a point wherein you were saying that it would be around.
Yeah. Hello. Can't hear. Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I see, we can.
Okay. So basically, what I was saying was that we charge for a size of your university a one-time package subscription of 7.5 to 10 lakhs of rupees, and the cushion is basically, some universities they ask for the hand holding also. If you don't want any kind of an hand holding, then it is 7.5. If you want the hand holding, then it is 7.5 plus 2.5 for about 5 sessions extra for the hand holding. So that is the kind of the model that we have now. But however, although we charge you one time, but you can recover a modest amount of 1,000 to 2,000 rupees from every student, which will go to the innovation fund, because the number of patents will go up. You have to pay for the patents. The prototypes will go up. You will have to, develop more prototypes and, innovation funding, infrastructure, etc., etc. So within, let us say 3,000 rupees, and even if you charge 1,000, 2,000 rupees, the money you generate every year for innovation fund will be around 50 lakhs of rupees. And that is, I think, a very important innovation fund that you get, because without the innovation fund, it is difficult to have a sustainable model. So these licenses that we provide are for lifetime. From our side, from your side, you can charge the money from the student every year.
So charging from the student probably would not be an option, I suppose, because we've had so I told you that we had a discussion. You have done a lot of research into what Shoolini is and what Shoolini stands for. So it's a non-profit university, and basically charging it from students. Probably I've had a discussion around that, so I don't think management would agree to that.
Okay.
But still, so that's what I think. Kamal sir, if you have any views on that, and 7.5. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Even I agree with Dr. Kamal Kant.
Okay.
We don't actually put these kind of expenditure on students.
Okay.
So I think definitely if whatever is going to be decided, it is going to be decided by the university ultimately.
Yeah.
But right now we don't have anything like that we charge extra onto student. It is whatever fee that has been approved by the government of Himachal and by the university, that is the only thing.
All right. Okay. So anyway, that is
Mr. Rajpal. So that is so the fee and everything is being regulated by the regulatory authority. that
Okay.
is operating in the space of education in Himachal Pradesh. So we have a body called HPPERC, which is regulatory body for the private education bodies, right? So
Okay.
that is not a concern. So like 7.5 to 10. So I see value in whatever we have
There is,
seen in
yeah. There is
in
a
your
great value, sir. All I can say is that your university, the vision and mission which you have will definitely become one of the topmost in India, so definitely in the times to come in the world as well. I can assure you that the tools that we provide is going to open up the culture of innovation, democratize without spending too much of money on hiring extra faculty. And today, the digital mindset is going to stay. Irrespective of whatever happens, even if the universities totally open up, these students are used to these kind of platforms. And it is going to reduce your pressure. I mean, imagine telling a student anything about design thinking now today without this. Can you imagine the number of sessions that you will be requiring? And for 3,000 students. But we open the license and each and every student, and there is no rocket science here. And it is basic common sense. We have only guided him and said that this is what you do. That is the beauty of the product. We have simplified the innovation to such an extent that even an ordinary student will come with the idea and say, sir, I can now take my idea up to the market stage. That is the power.
Perfect, Mr. Rajpal. So let us, any views from you, Himanshu, Manish,
Yeah.
Ram, and specifically
Yeah,
Amit
even,
also. Amit, if you want to say something, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I think I should just congratulate Mr. Rajpal, sir, because this is an exceptionally good product.
Thank
Because
you.
you guys just did a great market research.
Thank
Because
you.
otherwise the student or the startup or the student startup has to do it. But
Yes.
you guys done it priorly.
Thank you. And
Amit,
this
I
is,
think this would be a helpful product when we talk about Mr. Rajpal, as I told you that Amit is one of student vice president of our Institutional Innovation Council. He's a student of second year.
okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, very good to hear such comments from the future generation, because my inspiration has been these students. When I develop the product, I have their knowledge in my mind. I know what exactly do they want and where are we lacking, because I've visited hundreds of universities. And when I visited there, I found one of the basic challenge was that one is the dearth of the quality faculty. Number two, the non-availability of the time with the faculty to address. See, making a policy is very easy. भाई आप डेमोक्रेटाइज कर दो इनोवेशन और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को. मैं 3,200 बच्चों के लिए फैकल्टी कहां से लेके आऊं? The cost element of that. I mean, how many professors would you need more in this space? And India does not have that. My challenge was, how will universities cater to this? So whatever we did by doing a research on every area of the challenge that a university was going through. Today, you can forget about the innovation issues. I can tell you, once you have these tools, I am not marketing here. All I'm saying is our solutions today are promoted in 40 countries by Global Innovation Institute of USA. So, I mean, when they saw this, they said that what a product you have created. So the worldwide market that we have created, this country which was called a Jugaad country, it was said that innovation, but today, can you imagine that the world is looking at us? So that is the power of the tool that we have created.
Right, sir. So Himanshu, any last thoughts from Himanshu, Ram, Manish, and then we'll probably.
No, sir. No comments from my side.
Right,
Though it
right.
was really a good product. If Shoolini can proceed with that, then it will be beneficial for IPR and innovation as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal Kant. It was wonderful. And Mr. Kamal Dev, Manish.
I have, sir, one question, last question maybe.
Ji, please.
So this is, sir, you're talking about this mind map. So I am actually from science background.
Yeah.
I want to know if suppose I have some product ready or I have done some research on one particular topic. I want to take into the market. So is it possible to map which industry nearby or in any part of the world or in India is available for me where I can go and talk and I can open my box?
Sure, sure. I mean, we have to know, I think we have to first of all find out what your area of innovation and research is. And definitely I can then
No.
connect. Yeah.
No, not only my, but I'm talking in general. Like for example, whether if you want to talk about global warming or maybe some medicines for maybe the COVID-19 vaccines or anything.
Of course. I mean, the whole research that we have done is basically industry sector wise. So if you have done a research, as I said, in the field of pharma, I mean, the pharma innovation, the MNC companies in the area of pharma who are helping you, their names are there, and the mind maps connect you over there. So the entire platform, I mean, it could be a technology company, it could be an FMCG company, it could be an automotive company. We have got hundreds of companies, whose names are over here who are going to be helping. So that, of course, that is the whole idea. Definitely, why not? And the mentorship that we provide, I mean, if you take our, let us say, per annum mentorship, for which we charge 2.5 lakhs, if you are not able to do, we can help you in that also. So not a problem.
And the model you have been talking, that is at the bigger scale, like 3,000 student.
Yes, we are talking about not only your 3,000 students. If your university becomes 5,000 tomorrow, the same license fee will be applicable. You will be getting the free updates, free technological updates in the softwares without any extra charges. Like you are for a philanthropy, I also want to create a big impact on the education system of India.
But I am thinking that do you have the smaller models?
Smaller models. See, if you go for a smaller model, that will be more expensive. Because let us say you go for 500 licenses, that in any case is going to be 5 lakhs minimum, because with less than that there is no license which is available. So
because why I am asking this, because not each and every student is actually.
We will give you a choice, sir. There is the minimum model that we have is for 5 lakhs. That is applicable to 500 students. You can take that model if you want to. And the other model, which is an open model for the entire university of your size, is available for 7.5. No, let me tell you one thing. When we say for your size, we don't mean entire 3,000. We know that, let us say out of 3,000, only 1,000 students will be going for it. So we calculate that. I mean, we know that it is going to be a certain percentage of that students. And by that calculation, we arrive at the figure. So the choice is yours. You want to go for a 5 lakh minimum model, you can go for that. If you want to go for 7.5, you get more bandwidth. That's what I'm saying. The choice is completely yours.
Okay. And you said it is for lifetime?
It is lifetime license. We do not charge any renewal. We do not charge any penny even for doing the kind of the updates that we keep on regularly doing in our technologies.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask actually, how frequently it is updated actually, because technology is advancing very fast.
You see, if you see the kind of technology section that I have, I don't know if you can just 1 second. Our updation is as of today, which means that if there is an application which has come from a 3D printer today, it will be there on our technology website. Because we subscribe to the technology update section, and my team is working regularly for updating the software. Without it, unless you delete the old items and unless you keep on bringing the new items, we'll never get to know what is a technology upgradation. And that technology intelligence is very important, and we realize the importance of that. So every day, virtually every day, the updations which are happening will be absolutely, will enable you to understand the powers of the package that we have.
Maybe last question. Do you have any trial version to start with, maybe week or 10 days?
Sir, this is not a software. This is a business intelligence program. So I wish I could do that. There is a great difference in a business software, and an intelligence platform.
Okay, I don't know the difference between, but this is what I always look for, because once we find that it is user friendly and it is useful,
It
then maybe
is,
you can.
don't worry about it. You are talking to a world-class organization, and to make sure that you are absolutely having no apprehensions is our responsibility. So it is very simple. It is very, very simple and user-friendly is all I can tell you. Because see, sir, if I share my idea generators, if I share my mind maps, which is not a software, which is an intelligence, right? You can imagine, what I'm sharing, and it's not possible to share that. And similarly, if I share the entire platform of World Innovation Network, which has got links to all the companies, that's the intelligence that we provide. So we charge for the intelligence, actually.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And thank you very much for asking those very, very good questions. I am sure I was able to satisfy you. But in case I was not, maybe in the next meeting, we will certainly do that.
Yeah, so Mr. Rajpal, so just to concluding remarks from my side. So
Ji.
we've seen it, I told you in the beginning as well. So I see some value in this, right?
Ji.
And just if you can provide us with some testimonials, Mr. Nitin, so
Yeah.
wherever you've been, like,
Sure.
Sure,
right?
sure,
So
sure,
that
sure.
we would require. And probably I and Dr. Kamal have meeting with our executive council on Thursday. So
Ji.
we'll update them on the product, and let us see if probably we can request you to give the same presentation to the executive council if they
Sure.
agree to it, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, sure.
And in any case, the recording of this meeting is being sent to you. So if you want, you can share that as well. And we will send you the proposal along with the presentation, testimonials, everything, the standard format that we have, so that
Perfect,
when you
perfect.
discuss it, so that you have certain figures and numbers when you're talking to them.
Done. Perfect.
Yeah?
That would be perfect.
Yeah. So fantastic meeting all of you. My congratulations and compliments to Shoolini once again, and to the top leadership team. Give my regards, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
pleasure. Yeah,
Thank you,
pleasure.
sir.
Pleasure interacting with all of you.
Thank
you so
Have a
much,
good
sir.
day. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Nitin, for connecting, and all the best.
Right.